Can you tell us about yourself?
Hi, I am Miss Maria Dayan Tijano Ampig, 26 years old, a teacher at Tawagan Sur National High School. I'm teaching English 10, Math 10, MAPI 10, and English for academic and professional purpose. I'm in my 4th year in the service as a grade 10 advisor and school paper advisor.
How are you coping to the new normal curriculum?
Well, I will not deny the fact that it's quite frustrating and exhausting with all the preparations, from the printing to the modules and to the distribution. But we are doing our best to deliver quality education to our students with our learning modalities such as through online and in modular mode.
What are the changes in your supposed duties?
It changes a lot of aspects in our duties. First, in the preparation of our teaching tools. Way back, we are preparing daily lesson log as a guide in our teaching. Now we are using modules which is created from the central office, which is as at par from what we usually practice. And then the mode of teaching is different as well, since we cannot see our students face to face. We just had our group chats, and at times we're going to have a online conference, which is very difficult since some of our students live in a far-flung area. And lastly, to our environment. Well, before we used to get angry with our messy and noisy classrooms, but now we are left with clean but empty ones. The school ground is quiet, and also we are far and we couldn't see the one that we love, and also with our students.
What are your strategies for effective teaching?
I used to have interactive teaching strategy in my class, wherein the communication pattern involves teacher to students and students to students interaction. There, I encourage my students to participate. Aside from that, I use questions that stimulate response, discussion, and hands-on experiences. I used to aid students' participation by grouping them and making them to be involved in all the activities that I prepared. Example activities are think, pair, and share, buzz discussion, and brainstorming. But now, in the new normal school year, my strategy in teaching now is to establish a strong communication with my students, as well as provide them with worksheets and self-made learning activities that will still encourage them and motivate them to learn even though we are far from each other.
What are your ways in handling the students?
In handling my students, I model different roles, set examples, and set rules. As I always say to them, I can be their sister, friend, and mother. I always remind them that we can laugh on jokes, but we should be serious in serious matters. Example, I am very strict in implementing my classroom rules, such as during their monitoring, during cleaning the classroom, and checking their activities. I am very approachable when it comes to their problem, and if there are queries that they are going to ask. And I am a different person when we are out of our classroom. I make sure that I cope up with the trends so that I will be able to connect with their topics as well. It is the connection between me and my students that makes our relationship. With that, they will feel comfortable in my presence, and they will not think of me as strict as I am during discussion. I believe that when the students are comfortable with your presence, they will be able to show their personality. So with that, I will be able to know the approach that I'm going to apply to them because of that.
As a model teacher, what encouragement will you share to your student in order to cope in this new normal?
There's only one thing that I'm going to say to encourage my students, and that is to help yourselves because no one else will. Always remember, no matter how our teachers reach you out by providing you with all the materials and learnings that you need, if you're not going to participate and if you're not going to study, it will be out of use. And no matter how your parents work for everything that you needed and provide you with everything, it will be all in waste. It is only you who holds your future, and your future is based on your decisions. Now, when are you going to make your decision? Yesterday is already part of the history, and our future is still uncertain. So you only have today. So make your right decision. Let us not make excuses saying you're just poor, you don't have everything, you are not bright enough, you are not smart enough, and even think that you don't have anybody who will support you. Don't be bothered with all those things that you haven't, but make use of the resources that you have now. Don't be drawn by negativities, but always see the positive side in every situation. It doesn't matter who you are or where you came from. The ability to triumph begins with you always.